Welcome back to my channel, everybody. I hope all of you are having a great day so far. How was your weekend? Tell me down in the comments. Now this is your third stimulus check update and third stimulus package update. So folks, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on post notifications. This weekend I will be announcing the new winners of a free $100 Amazon gift card. And if you want to enter to win my free Amazon gift card giveaway, then all you have to do is subscribe to my channel and turn on post notifications. And don't forget to give this video a like.
Process. He hosted Republican senators in the Oval Office early on as we were beginning the work of getting this bill passed. He's open to hearing Republican ideas and thoughts and ideas on how we can move forward. What he's not willing to do is to bring down the magnitude of the package because he understands that it addresses the crises we're facing. You know, his question would be, which piece of this package do you want to cut? Do you want to cut the direct checks to families who need it the most? Do you want to cut the money to get schools reopened? Do you want to cut the money to get vaccines in the arms of Americans around the country? So he believes that this package is tailored to meet the critical needs that we're facing right now in this moment of crisis in this country, and he's not willing to compromise on the things that we need to get the virus under control and get the economy back on track.
There's a lot of great news and a lot of new information coming from Congress, everybody. Now, if you want to know exactly when you should expect to receive the third stimulus check and how much money you would receive in the third stimulus payment, then be sure to stay until the end of this video.
Proposed including raising the minimum wage to $15 in the initial package because he wants to see it done. It's something he's supported for a long time. He believes that nobody in this country should work full time and live in poverty. So he wants to see the minimum wage increase to $15. He was disappointed in the parliamentarians' decision, but he respects that process. And you're right, we do not intend to work to try to overrule the parliamentarian. That's a major step. It would in and of itself require 50 votes. So that's not something we're looking at doing. However, we are going to work with the Senate to determine the best way forward on getting a minimum wage increase passed. We'll let the Senate and the Congress work through some of those details, but the president remains committed to getting a $15 minimum wage passed, and we look forward to working with the Congress to do it as quickly as possible.
Absolutely. I think we're going to be evaluating day by day what the needs are. So as you know, he'll be meeting with, via Zoom, a number of Democratic senators this afternoon. We've reserved time in his schedule to ensure that he can be engaged, roll up his sleeves, and be personally involved in making phone calls, having more Zoom meetings, potentially having people here to the Oval Office to get this across the finish line, and I expect him to be very involved personally.
On the parliamentarian decision, you said that he respects that decision, but progressives don't understand this. In some respect, they're like, why not fight for this? So why is the White House not more aggressively challenging that and sending the vice president to try and potentially overrule that with the vote?
Well, the decision for the vice president to vote to overrule or to take a step to overrule is not a simple decision. It would also require 50 votes. As you know, it's not a one-step decision. And the president and the vice president both respect the history of the Senate. They are both formally served in the Senate, and that's not an action we intend to take. But the president is committed to raising the minimum wage, to working to determine the best vehicle forward to doing that. That's why he put it in the package. He wants it to be raised to $15 an hour, and he will be in touch with leaders from all wings of the party in determining the best path forward for that.
Now here's who will qualify for the $1,400 stimulus checks under the American Rescue Plan, also known as the third stimulus bill. Listen closely, folks. The House Democrats passed the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan early Saturday morning, and individuals earning an adjusted gross income, or AGI, up to $75,000, and married couples earning up to $150,000 will receive $1,400 each, plus $1,400 for each dependent. That means an eligible family of 4 will receive $5,600. After those income thresholds, the payments phase out. Individuals earning an AGI over $100,000 per year, and couples earning over $200,000 will not receive a check. Unlike the previous two payments, adult dependents qualify for this round. A previous report from the American Enterprise Institute estimates that as many as 26 million more people, mainly college students and disabled adults, will now be eligible for a third stimulus payment. And the check could arrive as soon as next month. And that's the great news, everybody. My message to our politicians is to pass the stimulus checks and pass the $1,400 stimulus checks right now. If you agree with me, then leave a comment down below saying I agree. Because let's face it folks, the American people need help and they need help now.
I would say on the minimum wage, the president included a raise of the minimum wage in his package because he felt strongly that it's long overdue, that men and women working hard, trying to make ends meet, shouldn't be living at the poverty level. That's why he put it in his package. There is a process that it goes through, a parliamentary process, when it's a reconciliation bill, as you know, but for people who haven't been following all the nitty gritty of this, because it's a budgetary bill. That's why it went through the process. And, again, I would send you to talk to leaders in Congress to see if they have the 50 votes necessary, but regardless, the president, the vice president have made the decision they're not going to move forward with that step, but also it's not a simple process. It requires 2 steps. As it relates to Neera Tanden, she is somebody who has decades of experience. She is qualified. She is prepared to lead the budget team, and we're continue, of course, to fight for the confirmation of every nominee that the president puts forward. We'll see if we have 50 votes. That's part of the journey. That's part of democracy in action. Oh, go ahead.
On voting rights, the Supreme Court is set to hear a major voting rights case this week. You have, by some estimates, in 43 states, Republican-led states, that are set to, or at least envision a change to election laws and want to make it harder, put in place more restrictions on voting. The House is set to vote on the John Lewis Voting Rights Act that is running headlong into a Senate filibuster. Does the president support nixing the filibuster as a means of passing voting rights? And if not, how is he going to leverage his political capital to make sure that this Democratic priority becomes law?
Well, first, the president's committed to protecting the fundamental right to vote and making it easier for all eligible Americans to vote. His campaign was about fighting for democracy, and we're going to continue to fight for democracy in the White House. And that's why we need to pass reforms like H.R. 1, the For the People Act, and restore the Voting Rights Act. And he's happy to see the House take up H.R. 1 this week. We're not going to get ahead of the process. The president's view on the filibuster is well known. He has not changed that point of view, but certainly any step to protect voting rights, to ensure that it's easier and not harder for people to vote in the country, we feel is a positive step.
And also folks, don't forget that the payments are based on either 2019 or 2020 income. And that means taxpayers may want to file their taxes before the bill passes, if that would net them a large stimulus payment. And while many workers have run into delays receiving the unemployment insurance that they are entitled to, stimulus checks which are dispersed by the IRS rather than state governments can help them stay current on their bills. That's great news, everybody, for everyone listening to this video. And assuming the House bill is enacted without change, your filing status, or AGI, and number of dependents will be taken from either your 2019 or 2020 return. In fact, the application for SSI is also an application for other Social Security benefits. Social Security benefits may be paid to you and certain members of your family if you are insured, meaning you worked long enough and paid Social Security taxes. In most states, SSI recipients can also get help through Medicaid and get medical assistance,